guys seen some Robin talk in your feeds recently? I know everyone's been fan casting Timothy Chalamet as a version of Robin. He did talk about being Robin a while ago. After seeing him in Doom, he actually did pretty badass Robin. But the thing is, though, the report is that during the Batman 2, Matt Reeves is going to introduce a version of Dick Grayson who is only 13 years old. Zack Snyder did introduce a version of Robin during Batman vs. Superman, but it was Dick Grayson, and he was killed before the events of the movie. There was going to be this untold history that he had with Joker and Harley Quinn. They kind of alluded to during the first Suicide Squad movie, and then later during the Justice League Snyder Cut with their post-credit scene where he was taunting Batman in that post-apocalyptic future. Isn't that right? So this new version of Robin that we're going to see will be the first living version that we've seen in the movies since Batman and Robin, with Chris O'Donnell's Robin and George Clooney's Batman, who we also just saw at the end of the Flash movie. Right now, the Batman 2 is supposed to come out in 2025. It might get pushed to a little bit later in the year with the recent delays, but I'll do more videos for it when we get more details about the story. It's a long ways off, and James Gunn won't announce his Batman in Batman Brave and the Bold until after the Batman 2 comes out with Robert Pattinson. They don't want to steal any of their thunder, so it'll be a while before we learn about that other version of Batman. As far as I know, Andy Muschietti is still directing Batman Brave and the Bold, even though everything's paused by the strikes right now. Even though there are a lot of complaints about the Flash movie just in general, one of the best aspects of that movie was the way he treated both versions of Batman and their action on screen. Like, he actually generally did a good job of Ben Affleck's Batman and a good job of Michael Keaton's Batman. So we think a lot of people were disappointed by the actual Flash of it all and the overarching story. The Batman stuff in it was actually pretty solid. Ben Affleck even said after he did his scenes that he actually wanted to come back a little bit, even though he had told them that he was done as Batman at the time. That Batman Penguin HBO series was delayed a little, so it should release late 2024 or early 2025 before the Batman 2 comes out in theaters. But I'll do another trailer video for that when we have some more footage. There's a bunch of big stuff coming up. My Ahsoka episode 6 video will post later this week, so be sure to enable. Roughly 37% of taxpayers qualify. Form 1040 and limited credits only. See how at TurboTax.com. That's me. Carl Urban has already shaved off his beard for the role of Johnny Cage in Mortal Kombat 2. Jade, Katana, and even King Jared and Shao Kahn will also appear in a sequel. No matter what the first movie was, it succeeded in its main goal of garnering enough attention to immediately get a sequel. Filmed for a modest $55 million, it still earned its satisfying box office. Although critics and viewers left bad reviews, the movie was held its own on a couple of good actors and a bunch of fan service. Despite its middling box office success, the sequel received a thumbs up from New Line Cinema thanks to its good numbers on HBO Max. The studio in general initially has plans for an entire cinematic universe with prequels, spin-offs, and further sequels. Producers have repeatedly said that, and judging by the words of Joe Taslim, who played Cyborg, the franchise will continue until the fifth film. And this is all clear because the world of MK itself is there are enough storylines for so many projects. But let's not guess that far. Everything will depend on how Mortal Kombat 2 performs with a potential release date of summer 2024. So what will we see in the second part? There are potential spoilers ahead. The Earthrealm needs new fighters, and Cole Young has already gone to Hollywood to get Johnny Cage. It's officially confirmed that he will be played by Carl Urban from The Boys, and this is Scott. That guy is insane. You can hear his TV throughout the entire floor. Absolutely unreal. And it keeps happening. It's a violation of the lease. It's also a violation of local noise ordinances. And Fanny slamming the door down the hall, that's also a noise violation. She doesn't need to slam the door down the hall that hard. Everyone seems really aggressive today. I'm not sure what's going on. It's also like 90 degrees in here and there's mice running around. So last night I made a video about how there was absolutely no heat in here, and I keep saying that the Greenville group is refusing to regulate the heat in here because it goes from being completely off and ice cold to like 90 degrees. So now I have to turn on the AC. The window is stuck, so I can't open that window. It's very convenient because now I can't like ventilate the space. But it is so hot in here. I just had to step outside in the hallway just now, and the Creepin' 88 is just massively blasting his TV at levels that are completely
I should just call the police. I mean, this is ridiculous, and Greenville always excuses the bad behavior of the psychotic low-life scum thugs that they rent to, people who are convicted felons, sex offenders, psychopaths, stalkers, people who are too mentally disturbed to ever leave this building, let alone have any kind of employment. I've worked the entire time that I've lived in this building. I've always had to work full-time to pay my rent out of pocket, aside from the last 2 years since the pandemic, when I was actually receiving grant funding on an intermittent basis, not Section 8, to pay my rent. But these low-life scum, these convicted felons, these child molesters, these rapists, these thieves and stalkers and psychopaths that the Greenville group is constantly defending and excusing, they do absolutely nothing. And then they become predatory and aggressive towards people in the units adjacent to them who are more functional and have more going on than they do. And so I have to keep opening the door to the hallway because that window is stuck. It won't open. The air conditioner doesn't do much to get rid of the heat. And then Greenville shuts off the heat when I complain that it's too hot in here. They're completely incapable of regulating the heat in here. And there's mice running around all over the place. There's probably like a whole family of them because I keep hearing them. And it's probably more than one.
For maintenance, press 2. If you're interested in selling a property, press 3. For the office directory, press 4 or press 0 for the front desk. Invalid input.
I can't.
Please try again. For rentals, press 1. For maintenance, press 2. If you're interested... After the tone, please leave a detailed message with your name and number so we may get back to you when you return.
Hi there. It's right around 2:20 p.m. on Thursday, February 8th. I'm calling for a second time today from Unit 89 to report some problems with the heat. You guys either completely shut off the heat when it's 28 degrees outside and there's absolutely no heat in this unit, or then you turn it up to 90 and it's so hot that I have to open all the windows and doors. I just went out to the hallway because it's so excessively hot in Unit 89 right now that the temperature has got to be over 85 degrees, which is a code violation. And you guys, again, refuse to regulate the heat in this unit to acceptable levels that are consistent. It's either completely hot or completely ice cold in here. There's also a rodent infestation that just started up again about 4 or 5 days ago when you guys shut the heat off to this unit. Back on Sunday or Monday, the heat was shut off to this unit, and that's when the mice came back. They are running around in this unit right now. You guys need to send maintenance up here to check why there's a bunch of mice running around in my apartment. And at the same time, the psychotic piece of low-life scum that you're renting to in Unit 88 is blasting his TV and video games so loud throughout the floor that you can hear it throughout the floor. I don't care if it's in the middle of the afternoon. It's disruptive to other tenants, regardless of whether they're awake or not. And people have better things to do than listen to that scumbag low-life piece of trash blast his music and TV and porn and video games throughout the entire floor for hours on end. It's a violation of the lease for him to be playing his music that loud, or his TV or his porn movies or whatever it is that he watches at any point during the day, because it violates other tenants' right to quiet enjoyment of their unit. I am recording this voicemail for legal purposes, and if you have any questions, I can be reached at 617-459-0208. Please forward this to your legal team. This is a legal issue. It's a violation of the lease, and you guys are refusing to address any and all of the issues that I keep bringing to your attention, because it's about 90 degrees in here, and there was no heat in here 12 hours ago. So you're refusing to regulate the heat. There's mice running around, and the creep in 88 is being permitted to blast his porn movies and his video games throughout the entire floor for hours on end at levels that are completely unacceptable by any standards. Again, I'm calling from Unit 89 to report multiple violations that you guys are refusing to address on a regular basis. Please forward this to your legal team. I am recording it for legal purposes. Thank you. That's how you know you're dealing with a crooked Russian slumlord, when they refuse to do anything at all to address rodent infestations, excessive heat and no heat that rapid cycles, meaning it goes every few hours. There's either excessive heat that's above 90 or then no heat at all. And then they're allowing the sex offenders and thugs and convicted felons that they choose to rent to become aggressive and disruptive throughout the entire day and night. and to blast music and noise and porn for hours. And then they say, well, their behavior is not our problem. Actually, yes, it is. When you're renting to people who are criminally insane, who cannot think or speak for themselves because they're considered to be criminally insane, or they are in the criminal justice system, or they've been placed in a special prison situation like the thug directly below because they're autistic, they're on the autism spectrum, and they're very aggressive and unpredictable, but they're autistic. So apparently they're criminally insane. Then you are responsible for their behavior because you deliberately place these people knowing that they are not responsible for their own behavior. So then somebody is, and it's you. It's the Greenville group, right? They're the ones responsible for the criminal behavior of the criminally insane thugs, psychopaths, and sex offenders who they choose to place in all 3 adjacent units to mine. I'm sitting here trying to send emails, get work done, make phone calls. I've sent about 18 emails today and made about 10 phone calls. I'm literally working from home, and this creep in 88 is blasting noise that is so loud you can hear it throughout the entire floor. That's a violation of the lease, and I don't have to pay rent for violations of the lease. I can take the landlord to court for violations of the lease and for refusing to address ongoing violations of the lease. That's how stupid these people are. They don't realize that the more they act like a bunch of animals around me, the more they're making my life easy because I can take them to court for any and all of it, and I have evidence.